The bell above the cafe door jingled softly as it opened, letting in a gust of cold wind and the smell of rain. Customers inside barely looked up at first, just another person stepping in from the storm. But when they saw the man, whispers began. He wasn't like the others. His coat was old and frayed at the edges, patched in places where the fabric had worn thin. His shoes left muddy prints on the polished floor, and his gray hair clung wetly to his wrinkled forehead. His breathing was shallow, uneven, as though the very act of walking had exhausted him. In his hand, he carried a weathered brown envelope, bent at the corners, thick with folded papers. His fingers clutched it with desperation, as if it contained his entire life. The cafe was warm, filled with the soft hum of conversations, the clatter of cups, the sweet smell of pastries. Yet for the old man it felt hostile. Eyes darted toward him, brows raised, whispers exchanged. He could hear them. He knew what they thought: a beggar, a nuisance, someone who didn't belong here. And yet, he walked forward. His eyes scanned the room until they fell upon her. Seen tuning the fiancée, she sat by the window, her posture elegant, her clothes flawless. Her long nails, painted in the latest shade of crimson, tapped lightly against the table as she scrolled through her phone. A designer handbag rested beside her, expensive jewelry glinting in the soft cafe lights. Her name was Victoria. To outsiders, she was the image of grace and sophistication. But her eyes, cold, sharp, revealed another story. She valued appearances, wealth, status. And she had worked tirelessly to climb into Daniel's life, because Daniel wasn't just any man. He was a rising star in the business world, admired, respected, and wealthy. When Victoria looked up and noticed the old man shuffling toward her, her lip curled in disgust. "Excuse me," she said sharply before he even opened his mouth. "Whatever you're selling, I'm not interested. Please don't bother me." But the old man's lips quivered. He swallowed hard, and with a voice that trembled, he said, I came to see my son. He is your fiancé. My name is Thomas, I'm his father." The words hung in the air. Victoria blinked, then laughed, a high, cruel laugh that drew attention from nearby tables. People turned curious, watching the scene unfold. His father. "You." She looked him up and down. "Don't make me laugh. Daniel is successful. He's polished. He comes from class. And you look like someone who hasn't seen a proper bed in years." Her words cut like knives. The old man's shoulders slumped. His eyes darted down to the floor as though searching for an escape. But his heart urged him forward. "Please," he whispered, pulling the envelope from his coat. "I only want to give him these letters I wrote for years. I just want him to know I never stopped thinking of him." But Victoria's face hardened. She slapped the envelope from his hands. It tumbled to the ground, papers spilling out, sliding under chairs. Some were trampled by passing feet, others stained by spilled coffee. "Pathetic," she spat. "Do not ever come near Daniel again. If you truly were his father, you should have stayed when he needed you. But you didn't, did you? So get out." Her voice echoed. Some cafe goers looked sympathetic, but none dared interfere. The old man bent down, gathering the ruined letters with shaking hands. His vision blurred with tears. Then, in a voice cracked with pain, he cried out, "I'm your father!" But she turned her back as though the words were nothing but noise. Scene 3. The collapsed rain beat down mercilessly as Thomas stumbled out of the cafe. His coat clung to his frail body, offering no warmth. He pressed the envelope to his chest, trying to shield the letters from further ruin, but the ink already ran across the pages like bleeding wounds. He found a spot by the curb and sank down, exhaustion washing over him. His body ached. His chest felt tight. He had imagined so many scenarios of meeting his son again. But this cruel rejection. He whispered into the night, his voice breaking. "I'm sorry, son. I never meant to leave you. I thought I could give you more. But I only gave you pain." His vision dimmed, his body slumped, and with the storm raging around him, Thomas collapsed. Scene 40. Daniel's return elsewhere. Daniel was driving back from a business trip. His phone buzzed with Victoria's call. "Darling." Her voice cooed through the speaker. "You'll laugh when you hear this. Some filthy old man came into the cafe today claiming to be your father. Can you believe it? I sent him away, of course. The nerve of some people pretending things like that." She laughed lightly, expecting him to join in. But Daniel's knuckles tightened on the steering wheel. His heart skipped a beat. His breath grew shallow. "What did you say?" His voice was low, trembling. "I said some crazy old man pretended to be your father." Don't worry, he's probably back on the streets where he belongs." There was silence. "Daniel?" But Daniel had already ended the call. His mind spun. Memories flooded him. Memories he had buried deep. The letters. Those worn, handwritten letters that arrived when he was a boy. Letters full of apologies and longing. He had hidden them in a drawer, too angry to reply, too proud to forgive. But he had never thrown them away. Because a small part of him had always wondered, did my father still care? Did he still think of me? Now, hearing Victoria's words, his chest tightened with dread. He pressed his foot to the accelerator and sped through the rain. Scene 5, the reunion. When Daniel arrived at the cafe, he jumped out of his car and scanned the street. And then he saw him. A figure slumped on the ground, soaked through, clutching papers to his chest. "Dade." Daniel's voice broke as he ran forward, kneeling on the wet pavement. He gently shook the frail body. "Dad, it's me, Daniel." "Open your eyes." "Please." Thomas stirred weakly. His eyelids fluttered. When he saw the man before him, tears welled in his tired eyes. "My son," he whispered. I thought I lost you forever." The Daniel's arms wrapped around him tightly, as if to make up for all the years they had been apart. His tears fell freely, mixing with the rain. "No, Dad," Daniel choked. "I lost you. I should have looked for you. I should have never let my anger keep us apart. I'm so sorry." The two wept together, father and son, their embrace stronger than the years of silence. Scene 60. The confrontation. Victoria stormed out of the cafe, her heels clicking sharply on the wet pavement. She froze at the sight. Daniel kneeling, holding the very man she had humiliated. "Daniel, what are you doing? That man is a liar. He's... Nof!" Daniel's voice thundered. He rose to his feet, pulling his father up with him. His eyes burned with fury and pain. "This man is my father," he declared, his voice trembling with emotion. "The man who raised me as a child, the man who made mistakes but never stopped loving me. And you, how dare you humiliate him? How dare you treat him with such cruelty?" Victoria faltered. "But Daniel, look at him. He's nothing. He has no money, no status." Daniel's jaw tightened. "He is everything. He is my father. And if you cannot respect him, you cannot respect me. If you cannot honor him, you cannot be my wife." Gasps rose from the bystanders. Some clapped softly. Others nodded. Victoria's face burned with humiliation. She opened her mouth to protest. But Daniel turned away, supporting his father as they walked. She was left standing in the rain, her pride shattered, her plans ruined. Scene 70. Healing the wounds. Daniel brought his father home. He gave him warm clothes, a hot meal, and a comfortable bed. But more importantly, he gave him forgiveness. That night, they sat together, talking for hours. Thomas confessed his mistakes, how greed had blinded him, how regret had consumed him. He spoke of his wife, of the letters, of the years he spent praying for one more chance. Daniel listened, sometimes in silence, sometimes through tears. Finally, he took his father's hands and whispered, "I forgive you, Dad. Let's not waste any more time apart." The road to healing was long, but they walked it together. Neighbors judged at first, some whispering about the shabby old man now living in Daniel's fine home. But Daniel stood firm. "This is my father," he told them proudly, "and I will honor him as long as I live." Slowly, respect replaced whispers. People admired Daniel's humility, his courage to value family above status. Scene 80. The inspiring message. Thomas never got back the years he lost, but he gained something priceless, a second chance. And Daniel learned the greatest lesson of his life. Success means nothing without family, respect, and forgiveness. Pride destroys, love heals. Final call to action. Dear friends, what would you have done in Daniel's place? Would you forgive, or would you turn away? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to reconnect with their loved ones today. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Be kind always. Because here, we don't just tell stories, we remind the world of what truly matters: kindness, forgiveness, and family. And remember, be kind always.